Hi, vinyl community. It's Maria. So I'm going to show some comps, my favorite comps in my collection, because I have some incredible compilation albums. I'm going to start with Melody Maker, War of Independence, Indie Top 20, Volume 3. So this came out in 1988, double album. It's absolutely incredible. So there are bands or songs I already knew and bands I already knew, such as we've got Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart, one of my favorites. Oh God, what else? I'm blanking. Oh, 24-Hour Party People by Happy Mondays. And then, bands that I was already familiar with, like Depeche Mode, New Order, My Bloody Valentine, Throwing Muses. And I'm going to do a needle drop for this. There's also a song I knew, Birthday by the Sugar Cubes, but on this album, it is in Icelandic. So I'm going to do the needle drop. So basically, the Icelandic version was released in Iceland on a single called, Ein Mol Aman, and my Icelandic is rusty. And it was also on the B side of this international singles. So that's the only place you can find it on vinyl. And here, it was also like on a CD, a UK released CD. But listen to the Icelandic. I just love that it's in the original Icelandic. So, this was compiled by Chet and B. Selwood, who owned Beechwood Music Limited. I think they did a lot of compilation albums. So in addition to old favorites that I'm enjoying in a new way, I was discovering new bands like The Wedding Present, which is sort of jangle pop, and I want to apologize for my appearance. It's hot as hell up here, and I tried to make my hair all pretty, but I just had to get the pomade out because it's hot, and it's only May. There was another band, a Scottish band called The Shaman, and they have a song on here called Christopher Mayhew Says. And I read, so they're sampling Christopher Mayhew, who is a member of Parliament, but what they're sampling is for a show called, I think, Panorama in 1955, was it? 55. Christopher Mayhew took 400 milligrams of mescaline, and they recorded him talking. I think they filmed and recorded him, and for this show called Panorama. Well, I don't think they released it, so they're sampling the audio of Christopher Mayhew talking high on mescaline for this song called Christopher Mayhew Says. So that was interesting. And I also discovered Danielle Dax. She does experimental music. She did on this one, Big Hollow Man. Oh, and then I am so embarrassed to say, until I got this comp last year, I didn't know about the Cookie Crew. So it's the Cookie Crew do the song called Females Get On Up. I can't believe I just discovered that last year. Where was I and I missed the Cookie Crew? They were absolutely incredible. So, I'm enjoying the Icelandic here, but I'm going to continue. I'm going to do 2 more needle drops too. This is a great one. Greatest Rockabilly of the 50s. So this one came out in, let's see. Oh, so it's part of the collector series of the now defunct Ace Records, and the label is really, I love a good label. Oops. Yeah, pretty nice. So anyway, it's a collector series, part of the collector series. So some of these people I've heard of, like Mickey Gilley, and I'm gonna actually, this is these are really great. So Mickey Gilley, of course, I had heard of. Um, also, oh, gosh, where is it? Charlie Feather. But so I started reading up on some of these artists. Let's I started reading up on some of these artists, and so there's Mac Allen Smith doing King of Rock and Roll. Well, he's billed as Mac Allen Smith on this, although at one point he had he had a band, Mac Allen Smith and the Flames, and anyway, he, in addition to being a talented rockabilly musician, he's written a memoir, but he's also written a fictional account of his of his experiences in rockabilly, called Honky Tonk Addict. Is also in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. Never knew of Mac Allen Smith. So this really cool. And I am really not familiar with a lot of rockabilly, and like I really only knew the Stray Cats, but this is a great comp. Anyone who's interested in learning about rockabilly. Okay, this one, love the cover. This is No Wave. Came out in '78. It so No Wave, it's music and art scene in New York in the late '70s, and the music was more dissonant as opposed to melodic, and bands such as Suicide, Swans, I love Lounge Lizards, love them, and Teenage Jesus and the Jerks, which featured Lydia Lunch. Now this record, you're not going to find any of them. As a matter of fact, this isn't No Wave. It's not this 1978 clear ice blue promo. It's a gorgeous disc. It's not No Wave. I would say it's closer to New Wave because we got two Police songs on here. Roxanne, one of my favorites, and Next to You. It also has, so Stuart Copeland, in the first solo Police project, he had a band called Clark Kent, with spelled with K's, that it was a novelty punk band. And so yeah, none of these are really No Wave. And then and the Joe Jackson song, Sunday Papers, this is the debut on this record, and it was released the next year, 1979, on Joe Jackson's debut album called, I can't remember. I've got it right over there, and my mind is slipping. I don't remember. Looking Sharp. That's what it was. So yeah, it premiered first here on my No Wave album with No Wave on it. I don't know if they just were like, let's just put something out. It's great. It's got great music, and I'm glad they did. It's just it's marketed as No Wave, and it's really just like new wave to a certain degree, but great record. This one is very special to me. Dreamin' came out in 1979. I&M Teleproducts. I was 9. On television, they have the play several bars of a song, and order now. And so I put cash in the mail and waited the 6 to 8 weeks, and they brought it. They knocked at the door and delivered it COD. And if you're too young to know what COD means, it means cash on delivery. And so my mom's standing there. She has no idea. She didn't know I stuck a bunch of cash in an envelope and I mailed it to them. And so I said, hey, I paid for it. So the person delivering it said, well, it's COD, and couldn't leave it. But then we filled out something saying, that we had paid for it. And then my mom told me, cash is untraceable if you had, gotten a money order or something. So months went by, and I thought it was a lost cause. And then it was finally delivered. Decades later, as an adult, I asked my mom if she had paid them, just paid it for me. she said no. It actually just months later showed up. So what it is, it's like it's looking back, these are all heartbreak songs. I don't know why I wanted to order this when I was 9, but it's wonderful. It's soft rock, easy listening. You got a lot of, I think Gladys Knight and the Pips is on here 3 times. Oh, the Atlanta Rhythm section. I'm so into you. I can't think of nothing else. And and so I'm Not Lisa by Jessie Coulter, which she produced, I think. Yeah, she co-produced with her husband Waylon Jennings. They were both part of the outlaw country movement. And and what else? Oh, Right Time of the Night by Jennifer Warnes. All by Myself, Eric Carmen. And that, like a few years later, I think 2 or 3 years later, I used to listen to that song a lot. I don't know why that tugged at my heartstrings, by the time I was 12. But I think there's an early Hall & Oates from 1974. She's Gone. Do You Want to Make Love, or do you just want to fool around? First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, Roberta Flack. And a few Paul Ankas on here. Oh, David Soul. David Soul, Don't Give Up on Us, Baby. And this was when he was he had a very big hit TV show, Starsky and Hutch. He played Hutch. And also on here, Emotion by Samantha Sang. I found out that was co-written Barry and Robin Gibb, and they are such talented songwriters and singers, and the Bee Gees did do backup vocals on this. The other thing, Torn Between Two Lovers, Feeling Like a Fool, Loving Both of You is Breaking All the Rules. That, I found out, has been released in German, Portuguese, Swedish, Cantonese, Dutch, and Spanish. I don't know why that's so funny. I think the whole, loving both of you is breaking all the rules. People need to come up with new rules then. But yeah, it's heartbreak music, and it's close to my heart because I remember putting cash in an envelope and sending it. Now this one, okay, I'm gonna do a needle drop on this because there's a song on here that just really I've been connecting with. I've been in the mindset for about 2 months for this. So basically, the Bloodstains, it's a compilation of rare, like, punk singles. And so on the cover, so actually, this is Bloodstains Across California. This is the second in the series. They started with Texas. Now there are Bloodstained comps from Belgium. I think Dr. October showed one from Yugoslavia. And they're all incredible because a lot of these singles, you're not going to be able to find them, but you have them on this bootleg, all in one place. So the song on here that I want to play is it's by the Child Molesters, and it's called I'm Gonna Punch You in the Face, because that's been my mindset. So wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me find it. You wanna see your face look the same tomorrow as it does in the mirror today. Well, then you better get your bags back and ready to go. You better get out of my way. I'm gonna punch you in the face right now. I'm gonna make your nose bleed. I swear. Okay, that was too much. But yeah, this is my mindset for the past 2 months. I want to punch someone in the face. Anyway, but also on here, so also these are the Manson girls on the front, and Bloodstains Across California. Now the Agent Orange song Bloodstains is on here. It is not listed on the jacket, but it is listed on the label. It's song 1 of side 2, so it is on here. And the Plugs are on here with Move It. And I just, that's the only Plugs I have on vinyl. And let's see. Right now,
Every time you yell, I'm gonna put you in your place. Can't wait, I'm really gonna show ya who's the boss. When I make your face a total loss.
Okay, I'm gonna start on this one. I just can't stop listening to this song. Okay, so I'm gonna do a needle drop on this too, but before I start, it's the roots of Chicha. I got this about a year ago. It's a double album, and it came out in 2011, and there's a song that everyone's gonna recognize. That's why I'm gonna do this needle drop. But so it's the roots of Chicha, psychedelic cumbias from Peru. So a cumbia is a subgenre of chicha, which is a 1960s fusion of local cumbia, surf, psych, and Andean music. So this is going to be my next needle drop, and I'm not planning this well. Hold on, what's this? Is that going to work? Okay. So, oh yeah, and on this you can definitely see that Agent Orange. Oh, it's not going to be clear. Agent Orange is on there. So the cumbia, I think everyone's going to recognize the second they hear it. Para Elisa. I love this. Of course, it's Beethoven. I am so sorry I look so bad. I'm so hot. Okay, so 2011. So 3 of the songs on this, I've noticed which band is represented the most. Los Destellos, and that is who is doing Para Elisa. So the rest, like the 2 discs are all music just like this. This being the only one that I recognize, I wanted to share it with you. So yeah, this was, and that probably won't show up. Now, so while we're listening to the cumbia, so it leads us to another German musician, or German, very talented song master, Kurt Weill. These are, what is it, Lost in the Stars. So these are a bunch of modern musicians doing a lot of Kurt Weill songs. So this is a 1985 compilation. It was in a series of single composer interpretations. The first being the film music of Nino Rota, the second being Thelonious Monk, and then the third being Kurt Weill. So Kurt Weill, of course, was part of the avant-garde music scene in Berlin in the 1920s, and blending classical opera with dissonant jazz and folk before he immigrated to France and then to the United States for his own safety as World War II approached. And anyway, he partnered with Bertolt Brecht, who for like maybe 3 or 4 years, and they did. Bertolt Brecht penned the lyrics. They worked on Three Penny Opera, Mahogany, and the songs on here that are represented are Cannon Song, Ballad of Mac the Knife, and Alabama Song. And Lotte Lenya, the widow of Kurt Weill, that she loves the Doors cover of Alabama Song. She really loved that. And I guess I'll just let the cumbias play. So the insert. So we have a lot of people. There's a lot of, you can't even see it, but let's see, a lot of people. Terry Southern he's put something, on the insert, Terry Southern is writing about Weill and Brecht, the original Glimmer twins. So he's comparing the the collaboratory relationship between Kurt Weill, Bertolt Brecht, with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. All this really just modernizes it. I love it. And then there was a paragraph I really thought explained it well. The Brecht-Weill combination had the perfect chemistry for the times. Brecht explored provocative social themes from a uniquely new theatrical point of view. Weill counterpointed these themes with subtlety and irony through music which added layers of entertainment and meaning. So this is dark. Oh, so we've got Sting doing Mac the Knife, Ballad of Mac the Knife. We've got Marianne Faithfull, Ballad of the Soldier's Wife, and her voice lent itself really well to that song. Let's see, we've got Todd Rundgren doing Call from the Grave, ballad in which McKeith begs all men for forgiveness. Tom Waits doing What Keeps Mankind Alive. Lou Reed doing September Song. And we've got Dagmar Krause doing Surabaya Johnny. And she does a lot of experimental cabaret, which is just so perfect for this. So this, when did I say it came out? 85? And and when I was reading about Kurt Weill, I didn't realize he worked with Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes did the lyrics for they did Street Scene, which is an American opera. I never knew Kurt Weill worked with Langston Hughes. Pretty I'm learning so much when I'm doing these videos. The last thing I'm going to show. Oh, and before I'm going to show it, I just want to tell you, like, my new favorite band now is Nihilist Cheerleader. How about that for the best band name ever? They're from Athens, Georgia. It's called Dance Punk, and they remind me a little bit of Death Valley Girls. The vocalist has a very similar voice, and oh god, I am so hot. I work outside. My house is hot. The car I drive sometimes doesn't have air conditioning. I don't have a shower. If I want to shower, I don't want to, soak in a bathtub. It's too hot. If I want to shower, I go to LA Fitness. So it's only May. I just think, I feel like just sweating all the time isn't good for you. It's not really pleasant. So the last thing I'm going to show, and this is special. This is another mama story Mother's Day just ended, but, so this came out, this is Jack Kerouac, the Jack Kerouac collection. So it came out, I think, in late 1990, and in January of 91, I turned 21, and I bought myself a CD player, but I didn't have any CDs to play in it. So my mom knew I wanted this. This was available on vinyl, on cassette, and on CD. She went to Oxford Bookstore, now defunct, an Atlanta bookstore, funny thing is, it's all torn down, and Fantasyland Records moved. It's like the same place. And one of these records, the original 1959 one, they're selling there. And I got these in 1990 when they anyway, on basically the same physical spot, because in my neighborhood, they just tear things down all the time. But anyway, so my mother went and bought this for me for my 21st birthday. I opened it up to see some of the most gorgeous vinyl. So we've got Jack Kerouac with Steve Allen, which I'll get back to. Like, look how beautiful these records are. And as soon as I opened it, my mother was like, oh no, I thought it was CDs. And I was like, this is so much better. I can get CDs. I can always get CDs. It was 1991, but stuff like this. And my mother was so upset, but this was a wonderful, wonderful mistake. These are absolutely gorgeous. So basically, I listened to the first two. I listened to Jack Kerouac. So this is my favorite. So Jack Kerouac is reading, and Steve Allen is accompanying on the piano, sort of just noodling, but it's perfect. It works perfect with Jack Kerouac's poems. And so he's doing, October in the Railroad Earth. A lot of these are from like Mexico City blues. And let's see, there's one about Charlie Parker. And now this one is saxophone. I would at first say, hey, yeah, I'd love to hear his poetry with saxophone, which is great, but it does not top the piano accompaniment of Steve Allen. There's a picture of Steve Allen at the bottom, and it's excellent. This one, Zoot Sims and Al Cohn, and it's really great. Blues and haikus. It's a wonderful listen, and these two are really what I listen to the most. Now a lot of this is, oh wait, this is the next one. So some of these, on some of these records, these are unpublished poems. So we've got, he's got, I don't know if this one was published, but Neil and the Three Stooges, The Beginnings of Bop, and these poems don't have accompaniment. It's just him, but I'm telling you, the piano accompaniment is the best. So Jack Kerouac, The Last Word, he is so they're doing unreleased stuff on the Blues and Haikus session and the Steve Allen session, and then on side 2 there was a discussion: is there a beat generation? And then the last thing, he's reading from Visions of Cody and from On the Road, and it's the last like paragraph of On the Road where he's like, I think of Dean Moriarty. I think of old Dean Moriarty, the father we never found. I think of Dean Moriarty. I think of Dean Moriarty. And that book, On the Road, is just like a love, not poem, a love letter to Neil Cassidy. I mean, like, that's Dean Moriarty in the book. And when in around 91 or 92, my best friend and I, we went to Lowell, Massachusetts, where Kerouac, that's his birthplace, where he grew up. And surprisingly, they didn't have a lot. I don't think they expected people come. I don't know. I mean, I hope they have more there now. But we saw like a place, from outside, like an apartment he had lived, stuff like that. So anyway, but we also went to his grave and had lunch. And we both agreed it wasn't disrespectful to sit down and eat at his grave. And then there was like a park that had like granite slabs, one with the first paragraph of On the Road. And, I first met Dean Moriarty, blah, 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 blah. And then the second slab, it had the last paragraph from On the Road. And just hearing, and I've read On the Road multiple times in English. I've read a German translation, which was surprisingly good. And but to hear Jack Kerouac himself read, the last paragraph from his most famous book, it was wonderful. Oh, and in addition to that, this book that comes with it, this is so gorgeous the way they have this set up, because this goes like that, and then at the very end, we've got the dates of his life, and then you've got these wonderful pictures. There's a bibliography. There's a list of also books written about him, periodicals. There's a French periodical, because Jack Kerouac's native tongue, he's French Canadian, and his native tongue was French. And there are organizations, films, then they have a bibliography of his novels, poetry, broadsides. I don't even know what that means. And then of course, just really incredible pictures of Kerouac himself. This was, and this is, they haven't released that. So this was the first 2 records, 58, 59, and this came out in late 1990. The only thing that ruins this, I let something splatter. I got some splatter marks on that, and other than that, everything is pristine, except why did I let splatter marks get on it? So this is it. These are my favorite compilation albums in my collection, and thanks for watching. I'm just going to splash myself with some water because it's too hot for May. Bye, y'all.